This is Uncovering Sports. Welcome to Uncovering Sports. I am Cactus Hamilton Barrett alongside Banana Bread Brendan Coleman. And I would just want to say, first and foremost, thanks so much for listening, guys. I feel like we don't say it enough. But thanks for tuning in every single week and giving us the love. And I just wanted to give some love right back. Is that cool to do?
It's cool. It's cool.
Anyway, now that the love is out of the way, let's get to business.
What do you got?
I've got Odell Beckham Jr. on the trade block.
Oh, yeah.
We mentioned this the other week that Odell Beckham Jr. was not going to be traded, says John Mara, but also that no players are ineligible to be traded. Mm-hmm. Sort of canceling each other out.
Yeah.
And now it sounds like it might be a thing.
Yeah. It's really picking up steam. Definitely catching me off guard. Any idea where you might like to see him go?
This is a two-part question, because there's where I'd like to see him go, and then there's where I've heard he may go.
Where have you heard he may go?
Well, I was first hearing Rams and 49ers, but I have to take the Rams off the table because just today they made a trade for Brandon Cooks.
Breaking news? Pew, 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 pew.
We'll try that again.
Okay. I don't want to.
Brandon Cooks has been traded to the Rams. There's your breaking news.
Yes.
Which makes sense because they've been building the Rams all offseason into one of the new big powerhouse teams. But that leaves Odell Beckham Jr. Is he going to the 49ers? I can't name a 49ers receiver. So that seems plausible.
Sure. There's another team, though.
There's a team that I think we both want to see him on.
Yes.
And that, if you couldn't guess, having listened to this show, is the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
Imagine that team for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Close your eyes.
Yeah.
Are they closed?
They're closed.
Now imagine Jarvis Landry, Josh Gordon, and Odell Beckham Jr. all on one team.
In this scenario, is Josh Gordon eligible?
Are your eyes still closed?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. Well, that's a good team.
Yeah.
From 0-16 to playoff team with that? I mean,
The dream is real, I think.
if that were to happen, you got to imagine they would be pushing them quite a bit.
Yeah, there's no way that Odell Beckham Jr. doesn't go to the Browns and then the Browns have a rocket strapped to their back.
Yeah. And they've earned the right to go to the playoffs.
They've paid their dues.
Yeah.
Give them a wild card at least. But honestly, you can't put those three guys, plus you got Tyrod Taylor. They had that good young tight end in David Njoku. I don't know how you say his name.
You nailed it.
I thought I did. They're going to draft maybe the best running back in the draft.
Sure, I could see that.
They're going to have a powerhouse of an offense on paper. If that doesn't translate to the field, that buries everyone on the team. Which, yes, they've done before.
They've done before.
But not with this level of talent.
No. I guess I could see maybe Beckham has rubbed the wrong people the wrong way, and that's his punishment.
Oh, I can easily see that.
But the rest of those guys don't deserve that. I think if that happens, I would predict a playoff berth right away.
And my fingers are crossed because I just want to see this happen.
Oh, yeah.
Is Hugh Jackson coach of the year if the Browns make the playoffs? He'll still have an all-time losing record with the franchise.
But that would be a big obstacle for him to overcome. But I suppose that big turnaround is going to earn him some votes.
Right? And let's say they do get ODB. They've got Landry. They've got Josh Gordon, who, if eyes are all still closed, he's eligible to play. They've got the super team. Does Joe Thomas come out of retirement?
Yeah, I think Gronk, who also just got traded to the Browns, would...
Right, eyes are closed.
Yes. Would get Joe Thomas to come back, thus completing my last Madden franchise.
Perfect.
It's fantasy booking, for real.
Fantasy booking come to life. Just the way we like it. And you bring up an interesting point. Gronk. Let's talk about Gronk for a second. Because I think we've both heard that he's on the trade block.
Yes.
What does that mean?
I'm going to look really stupid saying this, considering our previous conversation about Odell Beckham. But I don't buy it one bit.
Really?
Just a storyline to pass the time.
Is it a storyline to pass the time, or here's my hot take on it.
Oh.
It's a sleeper cell storyline.
Oh. He's going to the Eagles? Who's he going to?
I don't know who he's going to yet, because I don't know who a good contender in the AFC would be. But hear me out. They trade him to any other team for a sizable return, right? He's
Sure.
Gronk.
Yeah.
But then Gronk either sleeper sells it or just retires, because the guy's had like 100 concussions.
Yep. Well, you know what? The Browns, they got all those picks to trade.
That's
Could really
true.
happen.
They're swimming in picks.
And that's how they can start to have the Browns trend downward. They trade for a retired player who never plays.
And it's all downhill from there. And we'd all buy that because
sure.
that's the Browns way.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the fantasy booking is over.
Before it starts.
Our eyes open, and we're in the bleak reality of Browns.
But Hugh Jackson keeps his job.
Ironclad
He is
contract. Last week, we started talking about baseball. Mm-hmm. It was opening day, and now we've had a whole opening week come and go. It was pretty much what we expected. We had Mike Peterson in the studio last week. He was calling some shots, and I don't think that we were surprised by anything that happened last week, because he pretty much got it all.
This is going to be a season all about offense, it looks like.
Continuing the trend from last season,
Yeah.
It's all about offense, and it's all about the home run. The first pitch of the season ended up a home run. We talked a little bit about Giancarlo Stanton last week, who was traded to the Yankees. Guess how many home runs he hit?
2.
A lot.
Oh, okay. Well,
His first at bat was, of course, a home run.
Absolutely.
Because they got to start him off hot. The only thing I'd say that we were surprised about is that the Yankees didn't start hotter than they did. I mean, it's the first week, so you can't read into it too much. It's a long season. But to have a team that we all sort of picked as the favorite going 2-2 to open the season, on its surface seems a bit weird.
yeah, but they can overcome a little turmoil to start the year.
Sure.
And come out.
Some adversity.
Yep.
Their arch rival, the Red Sox, get off to that hot start. Also in the American League, we got to see the two-way Japanese star Shuei Ohtani make both his hitting Major League debut and pitching Major League debut after having a very rough spring training. I think he had like a 27 ERA, which isn't great.
Not good at all.
But he did significantly better because they want to push this guy. They put him on the Angels with Mike Trout. That team is only going to continue to get better because they're not going to waste a superstar in both of those players, honestly, on the stop-startedness that the Angels have been for the last few seasons. He's their missing piece in terms of a marketable team.
Yeah. That whole off-season bidding war and investigation and all that is not for nothing.
Exactly.
They're reaching another market with him. They're already a big market. That has success written all over it.
I think some of his maybe not red hot start in terms of Ohtani I'm talking about is and they do this a lot. It's kind of a protect the big leagues kind of a thing where, you know, a guy can't just come in from another league. You know, he's been playing overseas for years. He can't just come and light it up over here because these are the best in the world.
Yeah, who does he think he is, Ichiro?
Exactly. And that guy's a protected star.
He is. Still going strong.
Still going strong. Let's see what else happened in opening week. National League. Nationals of the National League.
They have a league named after them.
They have a whole league named after them. How do they not win every season? Well, it's because of the long-term booking they're playing with Bryce Harper. They're off to another good start. I expect them to have a pretty good season. I think we talked about it a little bit last week that Bryce Harper is going to be a free agent at the end of this season. Mm-hmm. And so all season long it's going to be, is this the year that they finally get over the hump and can win in the postseason? Or is the team holding the star back and Bryce Harper leaves for greener pastures?
Even in that first scenario, he could leave.
So far, they have done nothing except play up his individual value.
Yeah.
The guy's hit almost nothing but home runs every time he's been up at the plate, if he doesn't get walked.
Yeah.
So they're not holding anything back on him this year. He's going to be huge all season long. And my guess is they choke again and they move him to a team that they're actually interested in pushing. Because
The Yankees?
I don't even know if they have room anymore.
I don't think so.
But probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Or,
They'll make
maybe the
room.
Red Sox.
Yeah. Yeah, got to keep the rivalry strong.
Yeah, exactly. They need to have as many names in that rivalry as possible. I do want to talk about the ultimate gift to fans this season. Pirates fans, you should be thanking Major League Baseball right now. Your team got to start 4-0. Management sold off their team. Fans are very upset about it. And I think MLB made a very smart play trying to retain engagement by giving them a little run right out of the gate. This is something that you'll see a lot of times, especially with franchises that are probably not going to go anywhere, And there's a lot of those in baseball because not that many teams are going to make it to the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to give fans a reason to keep coming up to the ballpark.
That's very smart booking. I can think of a time this happened in the NFL recently when Josh McDaniels took over the Broncos, sold the franchise quarterback.
Yep.
They let the team start 6-0 before dying off.
Before
6-0 in football is huge.
6-0 is huge.
Yeah. But it made not making the playoffs hurt even more.
And ultimately, I mean, Pirates fans are probably expecting that it'll all come crashing down quite soon.
By the end of the month.
And I'm trying to figure out if that's also what they've done for the Giants, because they started 2-0 against the Dodgers, who were in the World Series last season.
They were in the World Series last week on this show.
Yeah, exactly. Clayton Kershaw's been shoved so far down our collective throats that we can't breathe anymore.
Yeah.
But then the Giants shut them out the first two games. Obviously, the next two games, the Giants get shut out by much larger margins to more than even the playing field. But to even have, a rather young, unseasoned pitcher go over Kershaw in the first game was actually kind of surprising to me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He's the big dog.
Yeah, exactly. The big dog got upset. But, it may have been more of a gift to the Giants fans who didn't expect to be doing very well. One thing also is that the only score that the Giants had in both those games were home runs by Joe Panik, who I'm guessing they're going to continue to play up. He had another home run against the Mariners, so he's got 3 in 5 games now. I expect him to continue to do well so that when the time comes mid-season to pack it in and they start selling off pieces, he'll probably get moved and there'll be more of a reason to do so because he's a hometown favorite,
Well, that's the exciting part of baseball season. The trade deadline.
When all of these
so many moves.
Yeah. You're a big trade deadline and free agency fan.
Yeah.
Banana Bread's a real team builder. And that's fair.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It is fun.
And that's why we like to build teams on this show too.
Yeah.
And that's why we book the XFL.
We're building a league.
Yeah, we're not booking a team. We're not booking a season. We're booking a whole freaking league. We've already got 5 teams. We've already got a handful of players. More than a handful. 2 handfuls.
2 handfuls, yeah.
We do need more handfuls of players. So if you have ideas for players that you'd like to see in our Book the XFL draft, which happens on April 25th, then tweet us at Uncovering Sport or Facebook us. You could even email us if you're old-fashioned. We have 5 teams for the XFL draft. Mm-hmm. I think we need a 6th.
Well, we need a city first.
We do need a city first. And that has been a bit of a topic of speculation, especially amongst XFL fans. So I thought we'd take a minute to talk about this. Because I keep reading the same thing over and over again. Birmingham, Alabama needs an XFL team.
Mm-hmm.
Birmingham, Alabama had an XFL team. What happened there?
Good point.
Didn't work out,
It
did
didn't
it?
work out.
You know why? Birmingham doesn't sound very cool.
It doesn't sound cool at all. Birmingham.
It's named after a city in England. That's not very XFL.
No, it's the opposite of the XFL.
That's completely counter to everything the XFL stands for. It's not snooty.
No. There's no tea and crumpets in the XFL.
No. You know why else it won't work? This is why it won't work. Because Birmingham is in Alabama.
Sure. We covered that.
I know what you're saying. What's wrong with Alabama? don't get me started on that. I'll
That's low-hanging
paraphrase.
fruit.
They have the University of Alabama.
Yes.
They have the SEC.
Yeah.
They have college football.
That's all they care about.
Off-season or not, all they care about is the Crimson Tide, which is a terrible name for a team. Come at me, bro.
Whoa.
Uncovering Sport on Twitter.
I don't want to be part of this.
Right? Do you know where that name comes from?
I have no idea.
They actually used to be called the Alabama Red Elephants.
Yeah, I've seen the logo with an elephant, and I did not understand.
Yeah, an elephant is their logo, and their mascot is an elephant. But they upset a favorite. The Crimson Tide swept over them, and the nickname was born.
Wow.
Red Elephants is a weird name too, though. Either way,
It's on Forest Dragons level.
any adjective and then animal, mythical or not, just doesn't make for a great team name to me. Like, what if the Broncos were the Orange Broncos?
Wouldn't be as good.
Wouldn't be as good.
But the Purple Cobras.
Ooh, never mind. That's an awesome team name.
That's great.
So Birmingham, Alabama is out. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we've only got 3 slots. We can't waste one on Alabama.
Absolutely
No offense,
can't.
Alabama.
It's a failing franchise out of the gate.
A history of failing.
Plus, Vince is not a big fan of the South, I don't think.
No.
There's some tenuous relationships there.
Yeah, we need to head to Vince country for this one.
I think we do.
Vince is huge in the Northeast.
I think he considers New York his home turf.
Sure.
That was his territory, if you will. So I feel like we got to put a team in New York. I know there's already 2 NFL teams there, but guess what? It's also the biggest
3.
city. I'm talking about the city.
Okay,
You're talking about. I'm not gonna put another team in Buffalo.
All right, I'm just
Fine.
saying.
Well, we're gonna. The Albany Albacores is now a team.
All right, there we go. Let's move on.
Done. No, New York State doesn't count. They're 2 separate places.
Okay.
Vince doesn't even count New York State. He counts New York City as his home turf.
Well, are there any cool sounding areas we can?
Well, let's see. They got the 5 boroughs, right? So we could put a team anywhere. And there is one particularly awesome sounding borough.
That's true. It sounds great. I assume you're talking about the Bronx?
I am absolutely talking about the Bronx. What's a cooler borough? Brooklyn? You never get sleep in Brooklyn.
Nope. You know, you're right. We want our players well rested.
As much as they can be. We're all about player safety in the XFL.
Yeah, that's true.
Now we just need a team name. Who do we put in the Bronx? Obviously, there's a lot of storied history there as far as teams go. There's one with 27 championships. They wear pinstripes.
Whatever.
Whatever.
You're talking about the team that Bryce Harper plays for next year?
That's the one. Yep. So, we gotta... Do we respect that history, or do we go with something else? Do we go with something a little more Vincey? The Bronx Big Dogs.
That's really Vincey.
But
But
does it
that's
sell?
adjective animal.
Yeah, good point. We can't do adjective animal.
Yep.
Shot ourselves in the foot.
Sorry,
All right.
Vince.
Bronx Big Dogs is out.
Bambinos?
The Bronx Bambinos? Doesn't Bambino mean infant?
Don't know.
Isn't it like baby? They'd be the Bronx Babies. Not as intimidating.
Not really, no.
Oh, there's the little Bambino.
What was that voice?
That was my Italian guy.
Mario?
voice. It's a me, a Bambino. I do a much better Mario impression. It's a me, a Mario.
There you
See?
go. Nailed it.
It's coming back later.
Great.
Okay, so we got a lot of failed team names. The XFL New York was the Hitmen. I don't see it. It wasn't great the first time.
We've dipped into old XFL enough.
Sure.
We
need to
branch out.
rebrand, yeah.
Yeah.
What is the Bronx known for? Hip hop culture, beatboxers.
That's a cool sounding word.
But there's got to be something better.
What else do we have? Lots of graffiti.
Are there any cool graffiti tags?
Tags.
The Bronx tags? No, that doesn't work.
No, that's not good. I got it.
Okay.
The Bronx Blockbusters.
Now that's a name.
That's a name.
That's a name I could get behind.
Sounds great.
That's big. That's bold. That's bruising.
Oh, yeah.
All right. You know what? We're doing it. Bronx Blockbusters are the 6th XFL franchise.
All right.
Now we need some players. Now, obviously, every week we add players to our draft pool. So these players aren't necessarily blockbusters, but they could be. Who we got this week?
They have a 1 in 8 chance.
They do.
Let's see. Where do we start? I think that Vince in honor of being in Vince country, we want some big characters.
I think so.
How about Jay Cutler? I already mentioned him earlier.
Yes! He's coming back around.
He's a free agent right now. He could easily be lured.
Are you allowed to smoke on the field in the XFL? Can we finally see him with just a cigarette hanging out of his mouth?
Yes.
A whiskey in one hand, like he's in Trailer Park Boys when he's playing football.
No, you know what? I don't think that's in the code of conduct.
Damn it! All right, fine. Who else we got?
I'm doubling the pool this week.
Okay.
We need more players.
Yep, good call. We're only a few weeks away. We're in April now.
We
And
are.
the draft's April 25th.
Maybe not as big of a character, but a young quarterback who doesn't have a lot of wear and tear. He retired young. He
Okay.
could be lured back, though.
So he's still fresh?
He's still fresh. He retired because he lost the love for the game. But I think the XFL could reignite that.
Would you say he lost his smile?
He lost his smile. Thank you. But he could smile again. Jake Locker.
He could smile again.
He's an exciting player.
Yeah.
He's the kind of player Vince would love.
Oh, yeah. He's the kind of player that fits the XFL mold.
Yeah, he does. You know who else does? Jamal Charles. He's a very explosive player. And we're all about offense here.
We're all about offense.
Just like MLB.
We're all about explosive.
Explosive.
That guy's going to be hitting home runs all season long.
Oh, yeah. Another interesting character, also at running back, No Sean Moreno. Very famous for crying.
Botching.
Well, I meant crying. You see that, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
The world's largest tear.
The man has the creepiest, craziest tears I've ever seen in my life.
Moving to receiver.
We're just going to gloss over botching.
You know, that's in the past.
Sure, exactly. This is a fresh start. We're talking fresh starts.
We're going with one of the older players we've picked so far. Even just 1 or 2 years of a big name can boost the XFL.
Yeah, that's all you need to get a franchise started.
Yeah. So, you know who would be a great blockbuster? Would be Anquan Bolden.
Sure. Had a great NFL career.
Very strange end where he retired and then didn't want to retire, but then didn't.
And then
come
just
back.
kind of had to.
No one wanted him.
Well, he doesn't have to retire
Doesn't have
anymore.
to. Speaking of retiring and wide receivers, I feel like I have to mention one of the best to ever play. Retired young, can score when the refs let him. Calvin Johnson.
How is Megatron not in this draft yet?
You know what? I've been saving him for a special occasion.
That's a bomb drop. That's a blockbuster?
That's a blockbuster.
Damn.
Vince is going to push that guy to the moon.
Plus, he has a sweet nickname already.
He
He has marketing potential to the moon. He gets to have Megatron on the back of his jersey now.
Oh, shoot. Yeah. Wow. Yep. He's in.
He's in.
I know he's in. Sign him up. Now, the worst part of the draft, we're going to move to defense real quick.
We got to fill him out.
We need
We'll
more
see if any of
bodies.
them even get drafted.
Might just have Megatron play both ways, but in case
sure.
we don't, gonna have some defenders. Mario Williams was once a top pick.
It's me, Mario.
There you go. You said it would come back, and it
I
came
told
back.
you.
If you want to keep the impressions going, next on the list is Elvis Doomerville. Now, the bar set pretty high. Vince loves Elvis impersonators already.
That's true. He's gonna hear Elvis Duberville, and his mind is just gonna start racing with gimmicks for this guy. He's gonna come out in the whole white suit thing.
Yep.
Elvis Dumerville is gonna be the halftime show, if there's a halftime.
There's not a halftime show.
Oh, okay. Who else we got? I'm not doing an Elvis impersonation.
All right. Well,
I'm especially not gonna try to do Elvis Dumerville doing Elvis.
that's a good idea. Now, we got a couple of guys here who have sort of a rough background. Not off the field, but very physical. So they're going to have to tone down. They're going to have to shape up if they want to stick around.
Okay.
Because we don't want players getting hurt.
No, that's true.
TJ Ward.
I feel like you're mentioning a lot of Broncos.
You know what? They're fresh on my mind.
Sure.
I don't know. Favoritism.
Vince knows all about that. He'll like
Exactly.
that. I see what you're doing there.
If there's one thing I know other than the Broncos, it's Vince McMahon. I'm just trying to get this job done. One more. Former Seahawk,
There you go.
but was drafted by the Broncos. Brandon Browner.
Gonna have to shape up.
Yeah, lots of penalties
Yeah.
on that one there.
Yeah, he's especially gonna have to shape up because Ooh, boy, are they strict on defensive penalties in the XFL.
Yes, they are. Maybe just don't move.
Yeah, just kind of...
Hands up. Let them run by you.
He'll learn how to play his role in the XFL.
Sure.
They're going to have a couple months, hopefully, this time to train together as a team.
Yeah. Not just going to rush in there.
That's why they're not the AAF.
I got to say, Brandon Browner makes a great Bronx blockbuster. He's just...
Oh, it just rolls off the tongue. It really does. Well, maybe whoever the GM of the Blockbusters is listening right now and is going to take him. And we hope everyone's going to be listening on April 25th when we draft for all 8, the 6 teams that we've got, and the 2 that have yet to be revealed. If you want to follow along, you can check them out at uncovering sports.com in the Book the XFL section. You can see the team logos, you can see the current player pool, get more information on the draft, the rule book, the code of conduct is there. Everything you need to stay up to date.
I just wanted to say, those last 2 teams, we haven't revealed them yet, but I can guarantee they're going to sound cool.
They're going to sound really cool. And we were talking about this earlier. We need a good heel in this league.
That's true.
Next week, we're going to give you the heel. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned to uncoveringssports.com throughout the week for more news, updates, and other. Plus, of course, we're always at Uncovering Sports on Twitter, Uncovering Sports on Instagram, and Facebook. And if you like the show, which I know you do because you listen to it every week, go on to iTunes, go on to Google, give us a review. Give us 5 stars if we deserve it. Give us 1 if we suck.
Yeah. Be honest.
Hey, that's all we can ask. And if you like to listen to your podcasts on Stitcher, we're on Stitcher now. You got anything else?
No.
Then we're out. See you next week.
Deuces. Banana bread?